Welcome to a new edition of the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino. On this episode, we talk with founder and editor-in-chief of NapLab.com and professional mattress tester Derek Hales. His NapLab is a platform that tests and reviews mattresses using a battery of objective and data-driven tests. His reviews and personalized mattress recommendations help his readers quickly find mattresses that are well-suited for their needs, preferences, and budget. He has over 10 years of mattress testing experience and has tested over 410 different mattresses in his career. Newly married in 2014, Derek and his wife Samantha needed a new mattress, and the story unfolded from there. Over the years, he has helped millions of readers and viewers make more informed mattress purchasing decisions. It's quite a story. Enjoy.
Well, it's great to meet you. I love what you do. It's such a niche thing that it fascinates me because there's so many jobs that exist in the world, and this job that you have, it just totally fascinates me. So thank you for taking a minute out.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, it's kind of wild. This is our actual job. Yeah, it's always interesting, always changing. So we should have a lot to talk about.
So you're one of the very few guys where it's like if you need to take a nap on the job, you're getting paid for it.
Something like that. Yeah. I wish I could do more naps, but yeah, unfortunately, napping still isn't generally. I don't have time for it.
Yeah, no, I get it, totally get it. So let's dive in here. I want to begin with, we've entered a new year, and we survived the pandemic, amongst many other things. But that pandemic period was really a time of people shifting, and things changed so much. How did you ultimately make it through that time period? And how many waves were created during that time that you still feel today in your work?
It's a great question. The pandemic was really an interesting time for a lot of industries, but I think with respect to a lot of sites that were doing reviews and were particularly doing mattresses, the pandemic, I hate to say it, but it was kind of a good thing. You had, everybody stuck at home, nothing to do but, be at home, improve the home, buy stuff for the house. And so there was this huge wave of, people buying mattresses that probably wouldn't have bought them during that time otherwise. So it was something of, really a spike, kind of a period in time, almost like a seasonality thing. But, there was a lot of extra interest. And so we were kind of riding that wave of, people just demanding, more and more reviews and tests and, looking to upgrade their mattress and their more homes in general.
So let's get to the heart and soul of exactly what you do on a daily basis. Now, on paper, there's a few things that are going on, but let's get to it. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of grade school kids, third graders. It's career day. And one of the kids in the back of the room is like, hey, what do you do for a living? How do you answer them?
So in a nutshell, what we do is we test mattresses. So we get mattresses, they come into our lab. We have a series of tests where we take measurements using equipment and cameras and measurement devices to better understand exactly how that mattress will perform. And then we take all those tests, all that data, and then we write reviews and we create video reviews to communicate everything that we found about the mattress.
So before we get to this career arc as to how you evolved to this point in this job, I want to know, when you were in the third grade, what was your dream? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Definitely an astronaut. That was my earliest career aspirations and dreams.
So how did this happen? Take me back to your childhood. Take me back to the foundational seeds that were planted into you from growing up with your family and friends. And how did this job come about and evolve into it?
Even as just a little kid, I was always looking for side hustles, for ways to make money. I kind of, we weren't, super poor, but we were still pretty poor, and there just wasn't a lot of money to go around. So if I wanted stuff, I wanted toys, I wanted, a bike, I was largely, buying those things myself, even from a really young kid. So I was always looking for odd jobs around the neighborhood. People let me, clean up their yard or wash their windows or mow their yard and those sorts of things. And by the time I was in high school, I was, building my own websites, and I started, kind of getting into the world of, blogging and making videos and trying to create content and the things that people were interested in, and use that as a way to kind of help really just support myself in high school and into college. And that really kind of set the foundation, the groundwork for, this sort of entrepreneurial spirit. Immediately after college, I did 4 years in corporate America working for a major marketing agency, which I was able to learn a lot about, more professional marketing. And I kind of took all of those skills and lessons and knowledge, plus all of the just kind of entrepreneurial sort of spirit of my youth, and then used all that to launch my first business, where we were testing mattresses and really kind of dove into this world of reviews.
So when did you realize this was like a job that you loved and it made sense and that it was kind of your destiny? Was there a moment like that? Did you have a flashbulb moment?
Yeah, I think what I've always loved more than anything is being able to work for myself and work on my own projects and not have to have a 9 to 5. So as soon as I knew, financially that I could make this work and that this could be a full-time income and that I could support myself and support my family, like I was ready to make the leap. So I think I've always known that, I wanted to do something where I really was my own boss. So the moment I had an opportunity to do that, I was ready to leap. And as to, did it need to be mattresses? Definitely not, though. I think as I've sort of spent more time in, it's become something I love. And it's a really, I think it's a much more interesting and complicated world than I think a lot of people might think. The process of shopping for mattresses and trying to find something that matches your needs and preferences and budget. So I find it really rewarding being able to help consumers and create content and videos and reviews that, not only, allows me to support, my family and myself, but also I'm able to do something, a type of work that I'm proud in, and it's helping people, as opposed to just kind of, helping other, big companies, get bigger and market their products. So I find that very rewarding.
At the end of the day, it is a huge purchase. I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's not as magnanimous as a home, but it's pretty seminal. I mean, do you ever think about how important, do you feel the gravity of the decision that people make? We spend half of our lives sleeping, and it's such a big decision. Do you ever think how much does that factor into what you're doing?
A lot. I think it's one of those things where, what is it, mattresses, shoes, and chairs. You're always in one of those three. And so it's definitely something I feel. Every day I get emails from my readers and viewers telling me, what it was a nightmare, their current mattresses and their pains and the issues that are going on there. And then I get emails from people that have, already slept on the mattress that we recommended. And, so often it's, something that has just become a life changer for their moment. And it's one of those things where I think a lot of people don't realize just how critical good quality restorative sleep is until you don't have it, or perhaps until you sort of experience life with it. You think you're sort of, fine going along on, just maybe sleeping on the couch or sort of, just an old innerspring mattress that you've had for years and years and years. And then they make the switch to a new mattress with that better meets their needs, better supports their body. And it's this life changer, because when your body is able to really restore itself at night, your energy, your mood, your health, just everything flows and everything is going to be improved in those respects.
So who's been kind of an inspiration? Who's been a hero for you in your career?
I've always admired the work of Linus Sebastian with Linus Tech Tips and his other company, Linus Media Group. He's a prolific tech reviewer. I've always just really admired his work and his company and the thing that he's built. And they're definitely more video focused, where we're a little bit more focused on the contextual and the data and sort of lab testing side. But I think he has built something that's really impressive. And as I think watching just kind of a fellow nerd follow his own dreams and build something that is really taken on a life of its own is really inspiring, and it's something I hope that we can reach one day as well.
So you may have answered my question, but if you could meet somebody in your industry or anybody that's fascinating on the planet right now that might help you in your career and with what you're doing, who would you love to meet and hang out with and ask questions to?
Yeah, it would be Linus. Again, he's just such a cool figure. He has this wealth of experience, and I would love to sit down for lunch with him just to chat, more kind of one-on-one about what he's done in his life and hopes and dreams and things he might have done differently, and see if maybe I can glean a little bit of guidance from that.
So I got to ask you, and I'm sure you get to ask this quite a bit, what is the mattress that you personally have that you swear by, and how did you arrive at the mattress? What kind of trials and tribulations did you personally have to go through to get to your ideal place?
So the mattress that my wife and I have been sleeping on since 2017 is the Loom and Leaf. So it is a sort of higher end luxury level memory foam mattress. It is incredibly comfortable if you like memory foam. The pressure relief is fantastic. It has its shortcomings. Sex performance and cooling and edge support are amazing on memory foam mattresses. But for those who don't mind the shortcomings, or like my wife and I are prioritizing just like the pressure relief and comfort, it's amazing. As far as sort of how we found this, so Loom and Leaf was probably something like mattress number 25 or 30 that we tested. And so during the testing period, we thought it was great. We were also testing so many, and just kind of week after week after week, it was a new mattress, that it kind of went into storage for a couple of years. And it was only after I had finished sort of testing on our first 120 mattresses that we decided that was going to be the one we were going to sleep on long term. And that was also sort of the turning point for our company, where we sort of moved from more subjective testing into objective and data-driven testing. So that allowed me to actually have a mattress that I can sleep on each night, as opposed to having to rotate a new mattress every week.
So I'm curious, how do you balance, because obviously this industry changes a lot. There's a lot of things that you need to keep up with and stay on top of, and to do the best job that you can do. How do you do all of that and then balance you developing and evolving yourself as a human being? What is the motivator every day to wake up to collectively do all of this at the best possible ability?
I think if part of it is my dad instilled, for better or worse, a hyper-competitive spirit. I'm just always looking for ways to improve, to be better, to do more, to build something bigger. And then I think a part of it is just, for better or worse, I have the pleasure and responsibility of working with close friends and family. My sister works with me, two of my best friends. My wife works with me. So I have a responsibility to the people I work with, not only for my own financial, success and security, but for theirs as well, to be as good as I can be every single day, to build something that is always growing, that can support myself and my team, and the others that we work with.
So let me ask you this. If you had a dream tonight, and this is very appropriate for you because of the sleep realm, and you were to run into an 18-year-old version of you, and you could give that young version of you a piece of advice based on this life you've led, the wisdom you accumulated over time, what advice would you give yourself?
God, what a question. I think questions like this are so hard because I look back and I look at all of the mistakes and side roads and kind of dumb things that I did as a kid, and I wonder, I should tell myself I should avoid that, or I should do that differently. But I don't think I would, because I think all of those mistakes led me here, and without those mistakes, I couldn't have been here. I think the one piece of advice I would say is just, slow down, enjoy where you're at. There's no need to rush. You're going to get everywhere that you want to go, and in places that you never dreamed that you could go or get to. I think as an 18-year-old kid, I had these aspirations and these notions. I mean, I gotta get here, gotta do this, there's a certain time frame to do X, Y, and Z. And I think it just, sort of looking so far ahead, I really kind of missed where I was. So I think just being present, recommending myself to be more present in the moment and enjoy the time.
So of everything that you've done and accomplished at this point in your life, personally and professionally, what are you ultimately the proudest of?
That's a great question as well. I'm really proud of the business that my wife and I built together. I think that is among my greatest accomplishments. But I'm increasingly proud of the kids my wife and I are raising as well. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the 6-year-old in particular, really starting to kind of see him come a little more into his own and really kind of develop his own personality. And it's really amazing to watch the kids grow up and really be molding and shaping this person right before my eyes. And I hope that we can continue to both build a really cool company that we're proud of and to raise a family that we can be proud of as well.
So ultimately, at the end of the day, everyone has this perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone that knows you, but you ultimately run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Man, these are good questions. These are hard questions.
It'll wake you up a little bit.
Yeah, my perception of myself. I think I'm somebody that is hyper competitive, almost to a fault. Hyper anxious, again, to a fault. That competitiveness and that pressure and that anxiety drives me to success. But it's also, I think, it has its downfalls as well, and it creates its problems as well. With relationships and stress and going too hard when I need to take a step back. I think a lot of my friends and family would probably say the same of me. And certainly I think there's more truth in that as well. So it's something I think, I don't want that to always be true. I don't want the soul of my personality to be, a competitive drive. But it's certainly true right now.
As a fellow Kansas City Metroan, so to speak, and the 913 coming from the 816 here, what do you ultimately love about being a part of the Kansas City Metro?
Well, I grew up in Kansas City from the time I was, 10 to 22. And when I come back home, even today, it just has the hometown feel. Either maybe partly because that's where I grew up, and I think partly because just Kansas City has, a little bit of a smaller feel compared to where I'm at currently in Phoenix, Scottsdale area. So I love coming back just to see so many of the places so largely unchanged. My dad still lives in Overland Park, and we come back from time to time, and it just, we'll see, new restaurants here and there, or maybe a strip mall has been redone, but so much of it just feels very, very slow to change. And as a result, it makes it just feel very homey.
So if anyone wants to delve further into your work and look at what you've done now, in the future, in the past, and reach out, any of the good business that's going on in your world, what's the best place for them to do that?
So the best place is always at our website at naplab.com, NAPLAB.com. There you can find our reviews, comparisons, best of guides, and a whole lot more. There you can also take our personalized mattress quiz, answer a few questions about your needs, preferences, and budget. That goes straight to me, and I will send you back a personalized email recommendation with that mattress recommendation within 24 hours.
Wonderful, man. Derek, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for opening up. Thank you for your story. Have a wonderful New Year, man.
Likewise. Thank you so much for inviting me as a guest, and thank you for so many wonderful questions. I think I need to think more about these because these are really hard and good and thoughtful questions. And I really appreciate them. So thank you again.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you being open. You did wonderful. So again, thank you, man. It's fascinating, and have a wonderful day.
Okay. Hey, thank you. Sounds good. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to another famous interview with Joe Dimino, where we cover the world of art, literature, business, spirituality, music, and more from around the globe. Our esteemed theme music was composed and produced by the great E.E. Pointer of Kansas City's River Cow Orchestra. If you want to hear more interviews, visit the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino channel on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and until next time.